Okay, so hey, what's up guys, it's Smart Engineer making another video for all of you guys, and in today's video actually I want to talk about a topic which engineers are not normally related to and normally don't make a lot of videos on. But yeah, today I'm going to actually speak on how to get laid in clubs, or as a guy, in Western civilization, okay? So certain events have made guys who are not extremely good looking in Western civilization quite hard to actually get laid, especially in clubs and in the scene. So I mean, you can always go to prostitutes and stuff like that, but I'm just going to tell you how I go about it, because I feel like as a man, no matter what your race is, no matter what your inclinations are towards your political orientations or any other of that stuff, as a man you're going to have a need to fulfill. It's Maslow's pyramid of needs, right? And like on the bottoms there's like food, water, sleep, sex, right? It's right there. And you can jerk off, but I feel like as a guy you're gonna get so much more from actually having sex with real females. So cool, right? So I'm gonna actually tell you how I go for a very modulated, analytical process, which I really like. Because as I said, as an engineer we like figures to work and fit together and fit the appropriate graph. So how does my data relate to the world, and how have I used this data to actually formulate a formula to get laid with loads of girls? Because don't get me wrong, like I might put some evidence on this video, I might not. I probably won't even release this video, but I have sex with a lot of girls from many different backgrounds in many different cities, with all the appropriate adventures that goes along with these crazy sex stories. And I mean, I might not look like that, I probably don't look like that at all. I mean, to be honest, I go to university, and for some reason I feel like because people who go to university are the most well educated, who have had the best families, breed, who have had the best possibilities in life. Other people go to university. I'm one of the short. I feel so short in university. Everyone's so fucking tall, especially here in school. And everyone was like 6'2", honestly, and I'm like 5'9". So I'm just like just going through my day and feeling so inadequate because I'm so small. And yet I've probably had more sexual experiences than most people I meet on a day-to-day basis combined, which is a lot of bragging, but I honestly just tell me now, the average male has 3 sexual partners throughout his life, and I can really tell as an engineer that a lot of my male counterparts, this is very true. I mean, unless they're going to on a spree when they're 40 and they have sex with a lot of prostitutes, which fair enough. I'm not judging. Like, good on you. If you need to get it out of your system that way, then it's not the way I'd like to do it, because I don't think there's as pleasurable things as being very liked by females and by girls, which will make you as feel as good, and they'll actually like you for you, and have beautiful lives, beautiful girls in your life. Not when you're 40 and you're very decrepit, and they obviously are not that attracted to you. Although I believe that as a man, you can have a lot of in essence attractive essence towards women, which actually women would get attractive. But okay, I'm running off on the rails right now, so I'm actually gonna go on how I get around that. Okay, so in this society that we live in, girls are constantly being bombarded by dick. Every time they cross the street, it's dick. Every time someone opens the door for them, it's dick. Every time a taxi driver is taking them on tracks, it's you want some dick. Every time I don't know, the teacher's teaching them maths, it's you want some dick. So they're getting offered dick all the time. And what data do I have from this that corroborates and confirms all of this is true? I mean, the best thing, I'm actually put this video on this, is go on a girl's Tinder profile and start swiping right. Every single guy will have swiped right on you, no matter what the girl looks like. It's ridiculous, and will obviously be bombarding your Facebook. Sorry, and Tinder, obviously. Tinder, Facebook, probably girls get millions of friend requests and weird, creepy messages from guys who want to get laid, and that's just digitally online, not even anonymously. In real life, it's very more subtle, but it's actually there. Yeah. all the time. So girls have a lot of abundance, and if you were a girl, you'd probably be getting laid all the time because you like sex as a guy. But yeah, you can't really judge a woman because if you were in their position, you probably do the same thing. But it kind of sucks for us guys because we're not really getting offered the V all the time, you know. If anything, you have the V card and you want to try that, fucking lose that V card, eh? So, how do I get around this? Well, one way is online dating apps. I've actually never had that work for me. Although I am a true believer in social media platforms to enhance and powerfully transform your dating life. I'll go into that a little bit further on. But what I want to talk about is how you can go to clubs and actually meet girls while sober. Okay, so I've personally found that the best way to talk to girls is sober. You can do it drunk, but the problem with being drunk, which I found, is if you get really drunk, you're not in control of your actions, right? And you'll be sloppy, you'll take the wrong actions, you'll be uncalibrated towards the girl. What do I mean by that? Let me be more explicit. Which means you embarrass her in front of her friends by doing something which is very silly. For example, making her feel like a slut, which for girls is a massive thing. You don't care if anything. You're like having fights with your bros when you kiss a girl, but for girls it's not the same thing. I mean, some girls are. Some other parts of the world are a little bit more free and liberal like that, but for most women, I'd say they don't get a high five when they get shagged by two guys, you know, by two dicks. Two different dicks. Which honestly, a big trick to this is having no judgment. If a girl does this, if your girlfriend gets fucked by two guys, I don't even know what I'm going to say. By the way, don't judge girls. Like, if a girl does something, the best way you can just go about it and whatever is just don't be needy and not care. You're gonna care, but just don't show that you care, if anything. And the more experiences which reinforce your cool frame, the less you actually will care. But for the meantime, you can just not care, honestly. Pretend not to care. So, don't drink alcohol. Now, you should be talking to girls in clubs. And it's very hard to actually just like go from your life and start talking to girls. Just like this. It's like I'm studying engineering, I don't talk to anyone, I'm a fucking antisocial person. And then when I go to the club, I'm this social guy who's like emotionally aware to how to raise emotions and talk in a emotionally relevant, spike, breaking report manner. Well, it's not going to work that way, so you should just be talking to girls, to people the whole time, like the whole day basically. And for the most part, I don't feel like doing it, you probably don't feel like doing it, nobody really feels like doing it. But, you know, just go through the motions, and at some point your emotions will follow your actions, which is the cool thing about raising your status in life. Okay? So, you want to be talking to people as you go to the club, if you want to like to actually get girls in clubs. And then you want to be talking to girls all the time when you're in the club. Really, you don't want to be standing around with your bros unless you're actually having fun, unless you're actually doing cool stuff with them, unless you're actually doing like honestly, genuinely wanting to be with them. But for the most part, what I see is guys just standing around, and unless they're very drunk, they're just not wanting to be there with the dudes. And they'll be like scanning the environment and like looking out for the tall girls, and this is a very bad thing to do. So what you should be doing instead is you should just be talking to everyone, have a great time, and try to like approach girls which you think are unapproachable as well, because that will put in your head that it's okay to talk to anyone, even if you get massively rejected. Even the girl goes like this, or he points at a guy who she's with, or she tells you to fuck off, or she ignores you, or anything like that. Once you do it, tap yourself on the shoulder and feel good about it, because you took the right action, because you had nothing to lose. And the fact that you can go through that process, this doesn't entirely determine your manliness, but it does contribute to your iciness, your frame, you're like solid as a guy. It really helps. I mean, you can go through a war, you can endure great hardship and become a great man, or you can do game and approach a lot of girls and get rejected a lot and actually become really strong from this. And I want to say, like, some guys will get rejected more than other guys, and that's fine. But at the same time, I've had very, very, very good looking guys who I've gone out with, and because of their, in my opinion, inadequate beliefs of how to talk to women, how to engage with women in clubs, and it sounds so like nerdy, they do much worse than I do. In fact, they look at, oh, how I'm mauling down this little 18-year-old girl in the corner of a club, or how I'm getting all the attention whilst they're standing 6 feet above me, and they're like looking in complete surprise, and why is not them who are getting all the attention. So you should be talking in a way where everyone is like, what is this guy saying? So you should be talking in a way in which people are drawing their heads towards. It's like, you have the most interesting thing to say ever. You're so excited and you really want to say this thing out, and it doesn't even matter if what you say is complete bullshit. To be honest, most of what comes out of my mouth is complete bullshit. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. And at some point, sometimes that's actually good. If that's the case, better for you. But if it doesn't, it's fine. People will still listen to you because you are making the effort and you are believing in yourself. It's self-delusional completely, but for some reason girls like self-delusional guys with a lot of confidence, especially in clubs. Not so much when it's like in social setting. They'll think you're a bit crazy, but it still works actually quite well. Okay, so once you are talking in a way where everyone's like looking towards you because your voice is resonating through all the place, try to be with girls most of the time. Girls are very acute, have a very acute sense of knowing when you are with girls, and this pre-selection by other women is actually a attraction enhancing thing for you. Now, once you go in, once you mindfuck yourself to actually go in and you being a fucking man, you're having the balls, you're not lurking around the girl, you're actually going in. Sometimes it'll go better, sometimes it'll go worse. Being yourself, being comfortable with yourself, being secure with yourself. You should just talk to them, honestly. You should just talk to them. It's very easy. Just look them in the eye. As a guy, you should feel attracted to them, and you shouldn't feel bad or try to hide you're liking them. It should be very honest and congruent, and you should be trying to make them invest. So you should be talking to them and you should spark their interest in you, okay? There's several ways to do this. You know, you can act like a bit of a douche, you can act disinterested, you can act very interested. There's many ways to go around this. A way I like to do it is I'll ask a silly question, and then because the girl's answering, I take this as a reward, and then I'll touch her, and in her brain it's like, I'm getting I'm being rewarded when I talk. So you are rewarding talking investment with physical escalation. Everyone likes to be touched, unless you're a creep and you're being calibrated and you have no fucking idea what you're doing. But unless of that, people like to feel loved, right? Everyone feels appreciation and loves to be appreciated by love. Everyone loves this. Even though at the same time you should try to be okay with people not liking you all the time, especially if you're a guy, okay? So you're going in there and maybe you're teasing the girls. I like to tease girls a lot. I just like to say whatever's on my mind. So just for example, yesterday I was talking to this girl and I was telling her how she should come to Bible reading with me tomorrow, and I was making this shit seem so interesting. And think about it, when was the last time you heard about a guy talk to a girl about going to Bible reading studies? But I make this shit sound interesting. She was genuinely interested in Bible studying, reading, or whatever. You know, you can go on and talk about how Jesus is the best guy and he's so cool and he's got the best swagger because he moved mountains. Maybe that was Allah. You can even say that, you're like, you know. and she'll love you for that, because you're being silly, you're not being too serious in the beginning. So yeah, that's the way you should do it. And then once you feel like things are getting a little bit better, you should try to be with the girl in as many situations and many environments as possible, because that will reinforce the us frame. So it'll make it seem as you guys have known each other for more time than you actually have. And then maybe dance with her a little bit. I try not to escalate too much. So when I was like 18, 19, I'd go in and I'd make out with loads of girls. And then what would happen is some of the girls would just feel very slutty and feel like, okay, that was a cool experience, but now I'm going to peace out. And they would just run away. Like, they'd make out passionately, maybe even get fingered, and then they'd run away. I was very frustrated actually. It got to a point where I was like, refused to kiss girls when they really wanted me to kiss them, which, by the way, you have a window, an open window when you can escalate and kiss a girl, and if you don't, it shows girls that you have no emotional intelligence, and that will be an attractive trait. And that's why you should actually go in when they want you to go in, because it shows that you are the man and you can have the balls to do the things without actually caring too much of the freedom of outcome, basically. Cool. So you've got that under control. You're talking to girls. You're in a more social mood. You've maybe had a few good appreciative girls who appreciate you and appreciate your energy, appreciate what you have to offer to the table. Cool. Well, now you just fuck around a little bit, have fun, no pressure. Even if it's going really bad, just tell yourself everything's fine. Anything can happen by the end of the night. Even if there's like no girls left, I still have a massive abundance mentality. And then when the time to pull comes, I'm a very hard closer. The thing is, I think I talk to a girl, and because I think it actually comes across as that, as a very friendly person, so, and a very non-threatening voice, and mannerism. So I'll approach girls in the weirdest, creepiest places, and I'll still be okay. For example, I approached this girl yesterday, and she was so creeped out because I was walking her from behind in a very dark place. There was no one else, and because I was just cool and I just didn't think much about it, because if you don't care, the girl won't care at the end. We had a cool conversation. Didn't really go anywhere after that, but it was alright. So that's what you should do, basically. Try to incorporate talking to girls as much as you can, and then what you can do is, like, this is next level's bonus tip, is try to incorporate girls into your social media, social stories, okay? And then your gaming goes through your stories as well, which is cool. And then that's how you're going to circumvent the fact that you're a guy in Western civilization trying to get laid. Peace.